Frank M. Ahearn, privacy consultant, blackmail expert, and author of the New York Times bestseller, How to Disappear. I want to talk about sugar daddy blackmail and relationship blackmail. Kind of the same thing, but not the same thing. First, I want to touch on websites where men go to find discrete relationships. Now, sometimes that discrete relationship might be because you're married, or you're a business individual or a high net worth individual, and you have to hide certain things about your private life, and you figure it's an ideal place to find a discrete relationship. The problem is blackmailers know that. And many of the websites that advertise, quote, sugar daddy styled relationships or relationships of convenience are poaching grounds for blackmailers. Now, the blackmailers know that it's a discretionary situation and they know you have something to hide. So what better victim to have in life but someone with something to hide? Now, what blackmailers do online is they take their time and they groom the situation and they extract information. So the relationship starts on this app and you're texting back and forth. And then what happens is they start asking questions. Hey, I travel a lot. Where do you live? And you tell them you live in Rome. And what kind of work do you do? You say you're in banking. And they're like, hey, let's get off the app and go to Skype, WhatsApp, Google Hangouts. And now Skype, WhatsApp, and Google Hangouts might have your real profile. Now they got your real name. You give them your mobile number, they can pop it into a search engine, and maybe it's connected to your business. Maybe you send them a photo and they upload it online and reverse it, and they see your picture on some corporate website, and you're a senior vice president of whatever, or they find your Facebook page with your wife. Blackmailers know how to extract information. They do not back off easily when they have a victim who is married or with a lot to lose. So I don't want to talk too much about that at the moment, okay? So think about the websites that are out there. Think about who you're communicating with. What I want to talk more about is the structure or the problems that involve a relationship blackmail or a sugar daddy blackmail in the person, when you actually meet the person, and what happens when you want to end it. Because many times these types of relationship, they start fun, fantasy, and wild, but they turn into stalking. Blackmail to stalking. Okay, so let's assume you've been fortunate and you didn't get scammed online and you didn't meet a blackmailer online, but you met a real person, flesh and bones. You get together, you come to an understanding. You pay them X amount every week, or you buy them a car, put them in an apartment, and so you are an official sugar daddy, or you are in a relationship of convenience. And you've taken this individual from this life and you escalated their life, and they live a much better life. The problem is these situations always come to an end for whatever reasons. You decide you want to end it, and now you're going to pull the rug from under them and lower their life. They can get rather angry about that. Here's the problem. Over this period of time, you may have traveled with them, you may have spent the night with them, you may have invited them into your home. The question is, what information do they have on you? For example, when you've been traveling and while you were sleeping, were they laying next to you naked and snapped a photo of you two together? When you were having some fun, maybe you were drinking, did they snap photos? When they were in your home and your spouse was away, did they take photos? What about business information? Did they take time and look through your things and know proprietary business information? Most individuals in relationship of convenience will say, no, they didn't do that. In my experience, 99% of the victims I work with have no clue as to the information that was extracted on them or about them. And all of a sudden we start finding out there's photos, there's videos, all compromising. They got business information. I have clients who told me that they know nothing about their spouse. Guess what? They know everything about the spouse. So the problem is when you break this relationship off, all the ammunition comes out. And the person says, I want a payday. I want 50, 100, 200,000 euros or dollars. Of course, you don't want to pay it. But the problem is they got the bombs to blow up your life. Now you say you're not going to pay it. What can happen is it goes from this blackmail situation to this stalking situation. They can knock on your door. They could contact your spouse. They could show up at work. So as you're exiting a relationship blackmail, you have to be careful how you do it. If you're entering one, you have to be careful about your information and creating a wall. So before you exit the relationship, prepare and start thinking about what they know about you and how damaging it can be. And if you need help, I can be of help. So stay safe and keep private.